Your soul tells every truth it holds. Come in all of your ruin. You've carried enough from all that it has been. Cease the need to be a prideful king or queen, having control, looking for the fool's gold. Wandered off, lost and gone astray, tried to find a way to go, but oh, just come home.
Well, I am a cluttered house, locking doors to keep it in or out.
Hey everybody, welcome. That's our camera, by the way. I'm here with Caitlin and Ben, Homestead Collective. Can y'all see and hear us? There's a lot of moving parts today.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna... Anyway, say hi.
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 Hello, everyone.
The song you're hearing right now in all of its glory,
All I've tried to
that is from, if you haven't gone through Mixed Together Season 2, that's the song from that. So they were kind enough to give us their tracks from their former band, Sunday Muse, but now they got a new thing, so we're going to talk about that today. But first, we got to do an intro. Have y'all figured?
No.
I put them on the spot to do an intro,
honestly.
because that's how we roll. We got some new music to play, yeah. They're give me an idea, crowd.
Yeah.
I was 80% sold on Toy Story.
It's a pretty good one.
We could do Toy Story.
I also liked your lyrics on the spot.
Let's do it. We'll
You're gonna
record
have
it
to Sing
live.
along. Yeah, you're gonna have to sing along then, Caitlin.
All right.
Because you gotta be involved in this.
I'll try my best.
Okay. We're rolling.
All right.
Hold on.
Are we gonna talk about this? Or
No, we're just
No.
gonna record it,
Just go.
and then it goes on the top. That's how this works.
All right.
All right.
Ready?
That wasn't a good one. That wasn't a good one.
Go.
All right.
Today is Ask Joe. Today is Ask Joe. What were your lyrics?
When your mixes look rough ahead, though you did everything that Graham Cochran said. You just remember what Ben and Caitlin said.
Yeah, today is Ask Joe.
Jazz hands. Yeah. That was amazing. That was amazing. I think that works, y'all.
Yeah, that was something. I should have done the little riff at the end, but whatever.
It's okay. See, this is great. See how it sounds.
Today is Ask Joe. Today is Ask Joe.
Try again.
What were your lyrics?
When your mixes look rough ahead, though you did everything that Graham Cochran said. You just remember what Ben and Caitlin said.
Yeah, today is Ask Joe.
I totally messed up your outro, but that'll work. All right. Cool. Look at that, y'all. Y'all did an Ask Joe intro. You may remember back on episode, what was it? Do you remember? 224 or something?
224. Yep.
Yeah.
They did that. See, all the pieces are coming together. Right.
224.
Hold on. All right, y'all say something interesting while I get this going.
Oh man.
See, I never have somebody else to fall back on.
Right.
We drove 12 hours yesterday
Right.
from Philadelphia. Ask Joe.
I've got y'all mislabeled, my bad.
That's been the most interesting thing that has happened.
Yes. Oh, I went to Green Guitars this morning too.
Yes, we went to
Didn't wanna
Gruen.
leave.
Good old Green.
I'll have to go back.
I
after
got
we're
some good coffee at 8th and Roast. Today is Ask Joe. Today is Ask Joe. What were your lyrics?
When your mixes look rough ahead, though you did everything that Graham Cochran said. Just remember what Ben and Caitlin said.
Yeah, today is Ask Joe.
That was only like mostly planned or halfway planned, so.
Yeah.
Get your mic back up there, son.
I got it halfway. See, I feel like now I have to sit up straight.
Oh, you can. Oh, I thought you hadn't adjusted. Put it where you like, sir.
No, this is fine.
Jazz hands. Yeah. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Perfect.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So, everybody, can y'all see and hear us? Okay. I'm assuming so, because I'm very scatterbrained today.
Right.
They said we were slamming Graham. We weren't. A little bit. The good news is Graham will never see this.
Right.
He's he doesn't come to Ask Joe.
Should.
He should. It's super fun. What's up, Ross Crampton? Ross was in West Virginia. All right, cool. So let's start, and we're gonna just figure this thing out. Okay. I will cover up our faces for that.
Oh no.
Today is Ask Joe. Today is Ask Joe. What were your lyrics?
When your mixes look rough ahead, though you did everything that Graham Cochran said. You just remember what Ben and Caitlin said.
Yeah, today is Ask Joe.
Jazz hands. Yeah. That was amazing. That was amazing. Hi, it feels weird doing this in a room with other people. If you're just tuning in or you're watching the recording later, that intro was brought to you on the fly, for the most part, by these two lovely people here. Introduce yourselves, lovely people.
Hello, my name's Caitlin.
And I'm Ben.
We are called Homestead Collective.
Homestead Collective. So if you've been around the home studio corner world for a little bit, they've been all over it. Originally started with, they were in a band called Sunday Muse, and we mixed their song Fool's Gold. So if you haven't done the Mix Together season 2, you can get those tracks for free. I'll walk through the mix. I get really like mean feedback from the clients, and then I cry about it, and then I do the changes, and then everybody's happy. But they were the kind of the core of that band. Now they're doing their own duo thing called Homestead Collective, which if you saw Gilder Cam episode something around Christmas time, they were here recording a 5 or 6 song
Five.
Christmas EP that turned out super cool. And yeah, so now they're back again because, well, they really just came to Nashville to do Ask Joe, but then also we're going to do, what are we doing tomorrow night, folks?
We're playing a house show together with Frankie Barenko.
Frankie Barenko. See,
Who is also on our EP.
that's
Yes.
right.
on
She
song.
sang on Hark the Herald.
Yes.
Yep.
And
Lovely.
Frankie's been all over Home Studio Corner stuff too. So worlds are just colliding all over the place. So what we're going to do today is... I don't know what's happening. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk to them about doing the musician thing and ask them questions about just really, I'd love, if you're here live, bring some questions, because this is a little bit different than the normal, hey Joe, what EQ plugin should I buy? Discussion. I'd like to get more into kind of, well, these comments are awesome. Get more into the, maybe the creative side, being an artist, doing that thing. But first, while you're I know it's hard to think of questions on the spot, so we're going to give you a little bit of a break to listen to one of their songs, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. We'll do some questions and things like that. I've got like 2 questions for you because, frankly, I just don't care. I'm kidding. I do. But I want to hear their questions. I bet there'll be better questions. But tell us about the song that we're about to play, because this is newish, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this was recorded a few months ago. It's called 123. And it talks. Songwriting's really weird. Sometimes songs come in different parts and pieces when songwriting. For this one, this was written 2 years ago for the most part, but the last lyrics, yes, the last part of it didn't come until the wildfires started happening over on the West Coast, and so you'll hear in the end, she is the earth. So
Cool.
yeah, this is it.
Yeah, and what's the song called again?
Yeah. 1,
Oh,
2,
and
3.
Ben, what'd you?
No, it's just music. I think I wrote like the main riff probably at the beginning of Sunday Muse. So this is like 4 years ago or something.
Yeah.
And I just never used it for anything. I just pulled it out of nowhere.
And did you guys record this yourself?
No,
we record.
Oh, you wanna go?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. This was done by a guy named Justin Collars. He's kind of like outside Gettysburg.
Gettysburg, PA. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The studio's called The Shed.
The Shed?
The Shed.
The Shed.
Yes.
Just so we're clear. All right, so the song is called 123.
That's it.
Yep.
Hot new single from Homestead Collective. Enjoy.
One singular I am headstrong and slow to realize that I can't live this life all on my own. To plural you came along and stood with me, together discovering galaxies, speechless in awe. Some say our eyes swallow seasons seen as wreckage, but as for you and I, these wounds show us what love is. Singing in harmony, waiting patiently for more than ourselves. Some say we tread in seas of our mistakes, but all along we say we're more than shipwrecks we've made. They say they know she's crumbling in our view, but I'm here to stay, and I feel that she's resilient, and we are too.
Dang, girl. She went up to the high note at the end. Beautiful, lovely song. By the way, this is Homestead Collective. Go find them at homesteadcollective.net. Make sure you're subscribed and following on all the things where you subscribe and follow. Support them because they're awesome. And we got some questions coming in, which is awesome. They're loving the solo. Ben's half and half on whether he likes the guitar solo. I'm telling him he has the luxury of being half and half because he can play solos. Unlike all the fakers out here who have 3 riffs that we just do in different orders, and that's what we call.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's my game. Okay, so before we get into their questions, I'd love to know kind of what got you, like, that's not such a big, vague question. What are you doing right now that you're excited about? So obviously you're making music and playing music.
Yes.
What's got you all excited?
I think, at least for me personally, as we launched this project a year ago. And the most exciting thing right now that I'm excited for is this upcoming concert series that we're actually launching in our backyard in Philly. Homestead Collective is also a community organization celebrating music and arts through continual gatherings. And so what that's looked like for the past 9 months has been potluck once a month in our house, and then creative sharing time. So we've had poets, writers, artists, musicians from all over come through, and it'd be a safe, supporting, loving community, because art is hard to share, into that space. And so we want to take a break for the summer and do something different. And so we're featuring 2 different artists per month in our backyard for a concert. So the first one's June 16th, and we're like really gearing up for that. That's been the exciting thing that I'm looking forward to.
So if any of you can get to the Philly area, you should go.
Northeasterners.
Come on out and represent. So what kind of got you to there? Because it seems like I would love to be in something like that, because you're right, art is hard to share. Why start your own thing?
We're seeing a lot of I don't know. There's a consistent like hunger throughout humanity, obviously, that like craves love and belonging. Like we all crave love and belonging. And so we've had a lot of musician friends, artist friends through just existing and having friendships. Mm-hmm. And so we realize that not all, especially in Philly, Philly's it's an awesome city, but they're specifically, I think, with our safe and loving community in mind, that doesn't exist everywhere. And so we wanted to create that, and knew that, well, it would happen really well in a home, like in a living room. There's no competition kind of feel, that the best sweet spaces are like eating food together and like sharing what you love.
That's cool.
So
I love that.
That was kind of the vision behind that.
Super cool. I'm excited to see where that goes and takes off and all sorts of cool stuff. Ben, tell us a little bit about when y'all go do a show.
Yep.
I know it's probably different. Some days it's probably just a guitar, but what's your ideal, if you're going to do it upright, it's still just a duo.
Right.
I didn't mean that just a duo, but there's still only 2 of you. You only have so many hands and feet.
Right.
What's like a setup look like?
Setup? I guess it really depends on like the venue, and we really like the house show circuit. So sometimes it's literally just showing up with a guitar, and just playing in someone's living room. But usually, live. Caitlin and I will have. She's singing. We're both playing guitar. I'll play a little bit of banjo on some stuff. Trying to write more banjo songs because people seem to like them. So they're so hard.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You play real banjo too.
Right. Yeah. You got to do it. I'm trying to be as legit as I can. Then we got like some percussion. Mm-hmm. I got a suitcase now with a kick pedal on it, which is really fun. Get a lot of fun comments after gigs.
So you're playing that and still playing something else too?
Oh my gosh, it's one of these things.
Oh my gosh.
Ooh, tap your head, rub your stomach,
trying
switch.
to figure out how to get my foot to do one thing and my hands to do another. But so far so good.
God bless you.
We walked into the thrift store one day and took the beater.
The beater off the kick pedal, and I hit every single suitcase that they had. It was probably about like 15 suitcases until I finally picked one that I liked. And
that's amazing.
So good.
Very cool. Well, thank y'all for being here. I know you've been driving a lot, and you probably just want to take a nap or go back to Groons. It's coming. They're super nervous about the boom right now.
Yeah, we are.
But now I want to kind of shift gears and get into questions. Whether you're a musician, you're trying to do touring, or you've been doing it, you want to do it better, or just lots of questions around that type of stuff. That's what we're going to talk about now. Boom! If you're wondering what just happened, I do this boom thing, and we totally missed it. It was my fault. It's just too many moving parts.
We went down on the downbeat.
We went on the downbeat, so we were in time. Musically, we
Yes.
did well, but the boom was pretty bad. Okay, so let's jump into your questions. If you're here live, ask away. Ask for the people who aren't here who might want to know the truth about Homestead Collective. Again, we're here with Caitlin and Ben. Caitlin's on the left from Homestead Collective. Great musicians, super talented, super great songs. Ben, Joel says, is the Taylor your main guitar? He says, I've got a 314 CE, just got it, but I noticed it's super bright. What gauge strings do you use, and favorite mics for it?
Yeah, so it's the main guitar I use. I kind of want to get another guitar just because I use different tunings and it's kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, I love this. It's a 414 from 2004. My dad bought it and stopped using it, so I started using it.
Yay.
I usually use Martins, which is kind of fun since it's the Taylor. You usually shouldn't do that, but
Martin strings?
yeah, Martin
Okay.
strings. Usually like 12s on it. But I just got it set up by a local guy called Jay Guitars, and he put some Diodario strings on it. But I like them, so
Cool.
I might be using these now.
What's your favorite way to mic it?
When I play live, I just plug it in. But when I do home recording stuff, I like to use a large diaphragm condenser. I have a AKG P220, I think.
Okay.
And then I stick it probably about 6 inches away, somewhere around the 14th fret.
Requests for you to talk louder, so
Ah.
move closer.
Oh, that's classic. I get that a lot. No, I usually stick the mic probably around 6 inches from the 14th fret, kind of where the body and the neck join. And that usually works, but it's
Love
different
it.
for every recording,
Yeah,
I think.
and every guitar too.
Right.
How often do you finish new song ideas?
It depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes I will go and finish a song in a day, or in a couple hours, and then bring it to Ben, and he will add his flair,
Thing.
his
thing.
parts to it. Other times, Ben will come up with some kind of guitar riff,
Some or other, yeah.
something, and we like it, and so we'll record it on my phone and then bring it back later, and it'll form into a song. So I don't know
How frequently
how frequently that happens, but I mean, even just like finishing songs, I would say we've on average every couple months we
Yeah.
finish a song. So yeah.
What this is from Gary. He says, given that it's hard for artists to create and at the same time put food on the table, how are you balancing the collective and also making sure that you can keep the lights on, so to speak?
Great question.
Also, Spencer's here.
Ooh.
Hi, Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
Yeah, great question. We both don't do this full time currently. It's trending that way. It's the slow progressive upward slope of transitioning into full time music. I think there's a grind, but between what we make through gigging, through Patreon, those are the two main, I would say,
Music like
things.
income.
I also work part-time at the church I grew up in, overseeing the youths.
Yeah, I'm in a cafe working in the back making food.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, washing dishes.
It's a job.
Yep.
Good.
It's
job.
temporary. It's not where, obviously, you do what you got to do to
Right.
make ends meet.
How often are y'all on the road, or how often are you playing shows at this point?
Our goal for 2018 was 100 shows
Well,
this year.
No, our goal
right?
was 80.
Oh, 80
That's
shows.
what we made it, but we're on pace for 100 right now, I think.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
We
So far, so good.
Yeah, there was, I think, pretty much every weekend, we're playing
Yeah.
at least one or two. And for the spring, it really geared up to more like 2 or 3 per weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
long weekends.
Long weekends. And we travel. We actually have another booking agent based out of Delaware. And so they signed us, and because they're based out of Delaware, they send us to New York, D.C., Maryland, Delaware, Jersey.
Cool.
So it's like between all that regional stuff, that's really nice to have as well. And half of that is self-booked. Half of our gigs are from them. So, yep.
Super cool. Somebody wants to know, to tell us about the world of house concerts.
Oh, yeah.
Booking, travel, sleeping, or eating arrangements, guaranteed price, merch. So if you have a spiel on house shows, and because to a lot of people, they may have never heard of it.
Right.
Yeah.
They're thinking, what are you saying? And then other people have heard of it but never been to one.
Right.
It's a whole different thing.
Yep.
And if you're in Nashville and you want to experience it tomorrow night, the awkwardness of me playing a house show, come on out. But
Fun.
tell us kind of how that works.
Well, house shows are literally what they sound like. They are a show in your house. Basically, they're really trending. I mean, just even the last 5 years, I think they've just steadily inclined in popularity, in terms of definitely for an independent musician too, and making a actual solid income through that. Anyways, so we come to your house, your living room, whatever space you want us, backyard, and play a show. And normally that's 2 40-minute sets, but depending who's involved, the timing of the night, and weekday, weekend, it can be shorter or longer.
It's really all up to the homeowner.
Yep.
Yeah, we try to stay very flexible with whatever.
A lot of homeowners love to have potlucks, so they'll do, 6 o'clock. Everyone gets there with potluck. We do a $10 suggested donation at the door. That's normally how it goes. But we also have options for if you want to provide a free show for your guests, then you would book us. Like, we would send you an invoice, and you would then pay us. Or we've done kind of half and half too. So like homeowner will pay some, and guests will pay as well.
Right.
Potluck.
Or like the homeowner will pay us whatever the rate we decide, and then it'll be like a ticketed event, and then the homeowner can just keep whatever.
Right.
You make. Yeah. It's a fun one.
It's a fun one.
And it's just a sweet, intimate opportunity for people your family and friends, to get together and enjoy live music in a more intimate space. It's really low key. Some people think it's overwhelming. They're like, I'm now hosting this crazy, these live musicians, they're touring through and coming to my house. And we're like, no, like, we want it to be like stress free. There's a page on our website too, dedicated to it. And so you can like fill out basically a form if you want to host, which has really been a good tool.
Super cool.
Do
you typically bring amplification, or is it just as loud as you can play and sing?
That's usually on me. It depends on where we play. Okay. Yeah, like smaller houses. I like to play it safe, so I always bring something. Not guaranteed to use it. Obviously, if we're going to play in like a backyard or a bigger space, I like to bring stuff.
We bring a PA system.
But that's once again on the homeowner.
Sure.
Like if they don't want it to get too loud or whatever. Not that we're ever going to get too loud. But
we don't play heavy metal screamo.
Headbanging Homestead Collective show. That'd be awesome. Joel asks, are you playing, quote, shows, and how often does it turn into more like you're just the background elevator music? Or some of the gigs, do they go that direction?
Yes.
Yeah, we play like a fair amount of like restaurant gigs where you're booked for 3 hours and people come and go, and you're just
work in the tip
along,
jar or get a guarantee compensation, whichever.
So, they're definitely not the most fun gigs.
They're kind of soul sucking, actually.
Right. I mean, it is actually kind of fun sometimes, because when I noticed that like if people aren't really paying attention too well, I'll just start having fun, and I'll like try and squeeze like random riffs into our songs, or I'll just try like a solo song that I'm probably not ready to play out yet, but I do it anyway because
That's awesome.
no one really cares.
We treat them as practice, like
Yeah, a lot of times.
because people really aren't listening. I mean, they enjoy. We've definitely had a fair share of people coming up and being like, "Wow, like we really enjoy your music. Like, thank you for being here," or whatever. But generally, if not, like we just treat it as a practice. Like it's a good practice time. So
And we like to play.
Yeah.
We enjoy
That
playing.
helps.
So yeah.
What do you? So for that person, so you're going to a gig where you're not really expecting probably a lot in the way of we got 1,000 new fans from playing over in the corner at the restaurant. But for that new person, what do you do, or do you have anything to kind of try to get them into your world to where they loved you and now they're gone forever and you'll never?
right.
Like how do you manage? Because I've seen that. Like if I'll play something and say, "Hey, love your music," and I'll be like, "Thanks," and they walk away, I'm thinking, never see
Bye.
you again.
Have a nice
Yeah,
life.
maybe
Yeah.
our paths will randomly cross again.
Yeah. We always try to give a business card out.
Yeah.
If they ask, how can I keep in touch with you or how can I find more of your music? Because a lot of the time we're mixing in original songs and cover songs at those kinds of gigs. So if they hear original stuff, then they're like, how can I listen to more of that? So we'll give a business card or ask them to write their email down and add them to our mailing list.
Yeah, mailing list is big.
That's a good idea. Email y'all.
Right.
The jam.
Nothing replaces an email.
Yeah.
Like Instagram followers, Facebook friends or followers, they come and go, but like that email.
And like
you'll
I'm
always
even
have.
like friends with them, and I don't see everything that they post on. Like I'm not on Instagram, so I don't see that, and then I don't see all the Facebook posts because they don't show up. So like,
Right.
but you send me an email that says this is when we're playing.
Right.
That one I can save and keep, and I'm never gonna
Yeah.
miss it. Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
email's not old school. Speaking of old school, do y'all still print CDs?
Yeah, we do it like
How do you balance the CD download world?
balance. I don't even know. I mean, we're still like making the CDs ourselves. We saw a really cool Josh Garrels documentary. I don't remember what it's called.
The C in between.
Yeah.
That was his. one of
Well,
his
so yeah,
things.
we saw him doing that literally on his computer, printing out CDs or burning CDs and then writing on the cases and stuff. And we thought that's a lot cheaper than what we've done in the past, and we could totally do that. So in our spare time, when in like preparation, if we're going away for a weekend or however long, we'll just make a bunch of CDs and then when we run out, we make a bunch more, and it's
Yep.
super easy. But as far as like, yeah, I don't know how to really answer.
What are
the
your best
balance.
sellers merch wise? So I loved your show. I'll come to the table. Then what are people going away with?
CDs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
we're still selling them. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's so interesting.
The
Our
we-
f-
Go ahead.
Well, our first, so the only CD we have out now, which is a 6-track self-titled EP, we sell for $5. And sometimes we've done a pay what you want too, and people will give more. But generally, like $5, people are really happy with, and they're more likely to take away a $5 EP than a $20 shirt.
We do have shirts though now.
We do have shirts.
and they're
Yeah.
actually selling pretty good.
Yeah,
I
they're
need a
alright.
shirt, by the way. I meant to
Okay.
size small. That's not true. Not for me.
Squeeze you into a smaller beef.
He said we'll squeeze you into a small. And we're gonna need a few more hands on deck. Gary says, how do you build your network of shows and home concerts? So kind of, I feel like I think that's the gist of the question. Like I've seen people say, just email your people and tell them to book you for a house show. And you're like, but if you're starting out. So maybe a
Right.
bigger question, what advice to getting to a point where you've got connections so much that you can book a weekend run down to Maryland and back or whatever. I
Right.
don't know how close you are
Right.
to anything, but
Yeah.
things like this weekend where you pop down to Nashville, and this is a bad example, but
Yeah.
those weekends where they're full of like 3-4 shows.
Sure.
Right. One of them, normally if we do a long weekend run, there will be one anchor gig. So that might look like a smaller venue rather than a house show, or it might look like a house show. And that one is the like guarantee compensation, like solid amount of money. And then we'll book around that, depending on who we know around there. And that has come from not only reaching out to like other artist friends in that area that we have come in contact with, but also I literally Google coffee houses in Maryland and like pop up and email. I send probably like close to 200 emails and maybe 10 get back to me. So the ratio of that's like my day to day, like this is what I'm doing all morning. Like, so, and log it and keep track of it. Keep track of what venues have responded, or what house concert hosts have responded, and following up. So there's that balance too.
Sounds an awful lot like a sales job, which I would guess 90% of the musicians watching this are like, no, not going to do that. But then you see the people, like, it's funny, like I've get from the outside watching your, for lack of a better term, hustle. Yeah. It's like, well, it makes sense that you're getting traction and playing shows and doing the stuff that everyone else is like, oh, I wish I could play a show, go on tour. I sent one email and nobody got, like, yeah, it takes 200 to get 10. That sounds about right. Like in my experience too, not booking shows, but kind of everything else in life. Yeah. It just takes a lot more effort to get the result you thought you wanted to get.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, to give credit where credit is due, I actually have tried to book one show myself, and it fell apart. So Caitlin does handle all of that.
Caitlin is the booking mastermind.
Yeah. So she's great at that.
Have you ever played Panzer House in Maryland in the Baltimore area?
No, I don't think so. Panzer House. Cool. I want to look it up though.
It's a show inside a tank.
Sweet.
Probably not.
That would sound terrible.
Was it hard to switch to the sales/business mentality versus creativity and freedom? I had a friend when I worked at Sweetwater, so we're all sales dudes, and he had this stance of I refuse to sell music or to make money from music because it kills the art, which is its own. We could have a whole discussion about that. But where do you land on? So you've got to do the sales thing, business thing, obviously, and then how do you kind of also nurture the creative musician side, or is that what happens when you get to the show?
That's a great question.
Or maybe, I guess a question too, what's the percentage? Like, if you had 100 hours of your time over a couple weeks, how much of that is over the 3 days or whatever the hours? How much of that is spent doing more of the business side of things versus creativity stuff?
This isn't a concrete answer.
And we only accept concrete answers.
But I would say that, like, my typical day, and Ben's is different because he's working on a lot of studio stuff. He's recording both other people's stuff and our stuff. But my typical day looks like waking up 3 hours in front of a computer, just specifically sending emails and social media content / promotion stuff, taking a break and picking up a guitar and doing something with it. It might just be playing songs I know, or like practicing, or it might be like, you know, starting to songwrite, coming up with ideas. And then sometimes it looks like going down, listening to mixes that he's working on, taking a drive, going somewhere, listening to more mixes and trying to figure out, you know, what we need to change. And yeah, coming back and doing more emails. So that's like a 9 to 3 kind of thing. And then it's also spending enough time to do, I don't know, to be outside, to be in a different environment, to not be in front of a computer, because that's where my inspiration comes from too for creativity. So, you know, it's not a concrete kind of thing.
All really great questions. We're out of time for the official podcast, but we'll hang around afterward for the after party.
Wow, that went by so fast.
Sit tight. We gotta get Beastie Boys going.
Oh, yes.
I literally have a playlist just called After Party. Gig it. Kick it. I've been playing. Keep going. Oh. I totally got like a copyright notice from YouTube, like, we see that you played a Beastie Boys song on your stream. Like, I sure as heck did. It was awesome. Just in case you're wondering, that just means I can't monetize, which I wasn't doing anyway. Money is so silly. Okay, so we're going to hang out after party style where you let your hair down, Ben. And
these are really great questions, everyone.
they are really good questions. I probably should let the
yeah.
episode go longer, but the queue is already there, so we'll just keep going.
Thank you for all of your questions.
It's like an award show where you were cut off by the time. That's what they're saying.
The Jaws theme starts coming. Dun, 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 dun.
It's like, nope, your answer is boring. Goodbye. Chris wants to know your opinions on streaming versus download.
Yeah.
Or I guess streaming versus CDs, maybe.
Yeah.
Or I guess a paid download.
Yeah, I mean, streaming at this point, it's become, I don't want to say necessary evil, because I use streaming all the time and I love it, but that's just the way things are going now, so.
You can't escape it.
Right.
And you either gotta join, or it's gonna be harder. I don't know, in some capacity.
Be alone in your principles.
It's not gonna be impossible, but I think that not embracing Spotify, it's just with the times, like 2018 is just where it's at with that.
And I mean, there's still a fair amount of people that are still buying our CDs, like I said earlier. Like, we're still having to print out more, and so that's definitely still there. I don't know if CDs are going away anytime soon, but there definitely is a lot more streaming than there used to be.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think the whole thing with Spotify too is actually strategizing when you're gonna release a CD, release an album, strategizing when to release on Spotify, because I'm learning, we had a first EP and we were like, just get it out on Spotify, but in terms of our next album, a good thing might be, and this could be for anybody, is actually doing a physical or a digital download, something paid first, and waiting a couple months and then putting it on Spotify for everybody, so that you force people to pay first, and then it's like, woo, yay, streaming. So
we had,
and it's not a trick. Like they know it's going to be out eventually. I know Andy Osanga did that. He's like, got a new record, it'll be on Spotify in the fall. Right. If you want it now, you got to pay for it. It's like,
yeah, we had a friend.
Either yes or no, but it's not. It's just
a friend named Joy Ike. She did that. She's a Philly artist, and she had her whole album release, and it was, I don't know how long it took her to get it up on Spotify.
I don't know, but yeah.
So that's a good Spotify strategy.
Right,
you got anything else? Because I know, what was the first song I mixed for you? It was not Fool's Gold, but
New England.
New England, because that one got a ton of streams.
Yeah.
On Spotify.
Yeah.
What how did that happen? Was it anything you willed into existence, or was it one of those?
It was one of those random. We were kind of like, whoa, this is climbing in Germany.
Yeah,
we were popular in Hungary.
Yeah, predominantly like Germany and all. I think that the Spotify algorithms were just real friendly to us that day.
Did you get picked up by a playlist? Was that one?
We got put on, what was it?
It's like a German pop playlist. And we were like, this is folk.
You guys are German pop.
Yeah.
No one tell the Germans that this is.
And then, it climbed. And the thing is, though, I think, I don't know how many it has now. 150,000, something like that.
Awesome.
That's like 180.
180,000? Okay.
180,000.
We got paid $50.
No, we got more than that.
Right?
Yeah, we got way more than that.
$50 a month?
I don't remember.
Something
but
like
I know
that.
we got more than
$50 every minute.
So that just gives you, like, right now all of our songs on Spotify have that less than 1,000, like, next to it.
So if everybody goes and listens to that.
180,000
for a year.
Every day for a year.
Yeah.
Stian was asking, do you have any advice on getting your current fans to help get more streams on Spotify and Apple Music, things like that? Are you ever pushing people over there, or is it more? I think
first off, you have to write good songs that people like.
Oh, really? So you're telling me the music matters?
Yeah, that's probably the first step.
That's not something we talk about here. We're all tactics and strategies and crappy music.
We haven't specifically pushed Spotify, Apple Music, except saying that it's available there. But I do think there is a way to say, like, go follow us on Spotify. Artist follows actually gains more traction for, I can't explain it. Spotify, the more artist follows that you have, the almost better rapport, I guess, like you would technically gain. It doesn't mean that that person who follows you is going to listen and have so many stream a ton, but it does mean that they will know when you release new music through Spotify. It also means that a cool thing artists are doing now on Spotify is creating playlists, like personal playlists that other people can follow and listen to. And that's a really cool, engaging thing for people who are following you on there. So we have, like on Spotify, we created one that's called Homestead Meet Ben, Homestead Meet Caitlin, in which we have songs that are some of our favorites, like of all time, on that playlist. Yeah, as well as Home on the Road, which is our like on the road playlist that we listen to in the car, and then one that's called #support mellow music, and that one is all mellow stuff. We also have Homestead Tribe Tunes, which is like all of our artist friends who we're promoting and cross promoting.
Right. Yeah, any bands that we played with or friends.
Yeah.
Super smart.
You know.
So.
Speaking of mellow, somebody asked earlier, said your tunes tend to be mellow. Is that on purpose, or is that just kind of how your song? I think his actual question was, or can you just not write upbeat tunes? A nicer way. There you go.
There you go.
We can write upbeat tunes. It is hard to write upbeat, not cheesy tunes for me.
No kidding.
I mean, when we were in Sunday Muse, we definitely had quite a few upbeat stuff. And I think when you're in a bigger band and you have more moving parts, it's a lot easier to do that. When it's just the two of us, and I mean, I'm super laid back anyway, so like that's just my personality, and I tend to play that way. But I think, we just have a much easier time writing the mellow stuff, and we like it, so.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I don't know.
My resting BPM is 85 all day, every day.
Yep.
It takes a lot of work to get out of there. How do you manage touring with the jobs you currently have? So are you able to take longer breaks to do tours? How do you kind of play that game?
Yeah, the job I'm working at, it's very flexible. There's a lot of people that work there, so it's pretty easy to get someone to pick up my shifts. And when because I've only been working at this place since March, I think. Cool. And that was one of the job criteria when I was looking for one, is to try and find a place that at any given time I could, take a week to go travel.
Yep.
And I don't have to work weekends because we're usually gigging. So for me, my job situation, it's worked out pretty well for the most part.
Mine has been basically Sunday nights and Tuesday nights. I have to be present. Now the program's actually over for the summer, so I'm freed up a little more. But it would actually, timing would be great, because even if we wanted to do like a Wednesday to Saturday kind of thing, we could, because I would just need to be back by Sunday night for what I was doing with the kids there, and Tuesday night
with the Utes.
Yep.
Gary says, do you write as the mood strikes, or do you have more of a schedule, like sit down, force yourself?
I think you do. Like, you're a little more intentional about, like, I'm going to sit down and write a song. Yeah. I'm not that way. The way I songwrite is literally, I play guitar all the time. That's what I love to do. And if I start playing something, like, over and over again, and the next time I pick up the guitar, I play the same thing, well, then I kind of figure, well, that's a song in the making.
Yeah.
And then I start working on it. But I don't have, like, a specific, like, all right, today at 2 o'clock, I'm going to grab my guitar and I'm going to write something.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah. I have a ton of, like, just lyric ideas in my phone and in my notebook. And so either I will force myself to write on an idea that is in that, like, based off of that, and I kind of try to fit whatever that lyric idea is with what the music would sound like for it, so that it's not this, like, really weird contrast. Like, the lyric is something sad and you're writing something in G. I don't know. I think E is very nostalgic. So, like, I'll write, in that, or finger picking versus strumming, that kind of stuff. But But a lot of the times, actually, if I do sit down and I finish a song that same day, it's because the mood struck, and I was like, yeah, like this is how I'm feeling. I'm gonna get it all out like right now. So, yeah.
Do you ever? Trucky's asking, does Sunday Muse ever play anymore, or is it pretty much Homestead?
We've
they both sighed. I don't know if you could hear that. There's a sigh out of both sides.
We, I think at any given like time, if we were like, oh, let's all play together again, all of us would. But we're all like on different paths now, that to have it as committed as we are to Homestead stuff, just wouldn't practically work. Yeah. So yeah.
What about licensing? Is that come across? Is that something you've done or are looking into? Sam's asking. He's big into sync stuff.
That's a whole different. I'm trying, like, my brain still has to like always be wrapping my mind around licensing and stuff.
I don't touch that
because I think all the legality stuff overwhelms me, so I just push it off until I absolutely have to get my act together. Anyways,
yeah, I mean we've gone through the process on a few songs, so
we're
things that we've done and
registered with BMI. So all of our songs are like legally put in through there, I guess. Registered, that's the word I wanted. Put in through there.
Next song.
So yeah, with that. But in terms of like, I don't know, I feel like that's not everything, you know what I mean? Like BMI registering your songs, you can't just do that and be done. Like That's not it. So the answer would probably be no. Not fully there. Yeah. That's the best I think. I feel like I can give to that.
Than I can do.
So Homestead Collective just actually recently became like an official LLC as of January, and so like even that, all those legality stuff, I'm still trying to figure out what all we are required to do to make it legal.
Legit.
Yep.
Nadeem Merchant, he's one of my boys from Florida. He's in town on vacation. He'll be there tomorrow night.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Way to go, Nadeem.
So glad.
Trucky wants to know if you use Studio One, Ben.
Yes. Yes, I do.
He's a sucker.
Yeah, at first, like I was thinking about getting Pro Tools, and then just coincidentally, that's when like Bob, when we were in Sunny Muse, and we were recording at this guy's studio up in Philly. He uses Pro Tools there, and that's when I just started getting into recording myself. And then he introduced us all to Joe, and Joe used Studio One, and I thought it looked good. So
thought it looked good.
Oh my gosh! Answer. No offense to anybody that uses Ableton, I can't look at Ableton.
I can't figure Ableton out.
I can't
wrap my head around it. Gary has an idea. Back to the legal stuff.
Yeah.
Do a free house party for a lawyer, and then have them pay you in legal work.
Nice.
The barter system.
Yeah.
Alive and well.
Do you know any lawyers?
Great time. I do know a couple lawyers.
Oh,
yeah.
We'll send them an email.
All right, y'all. Good questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you two for sitting on the blue couch. I've always wanted to do some sort of blue couch
make it a series,
but
I
don't know. You'll be the inaugural blue couchers. But
thank you guys for your questions.
Tell everybody one more time where they can find you, where you want them to look you up. Hook you up.
Our website is homesteadcollective.net, not .com.
No
homesteadcollective.net. And basically you can find everything there, where we're going to be, just upcoming events, YouTube, Homestead Collective as well. We are doing a monthly video series called the Living Room Sessions. We partner with a media production company up in Philly, and we bring... Oh, they're called Ripe Creation Media. And we bring in a featured artist each month, and Ben and I act as kind of a backing band, and we collaborate with that featured artist to play one of their original songs. So you can go check out those there, as well as Patreon, patreon.com/Homestead Collective. We put out vlogs every so often that are only $1 a month if you subscribe to us on or pledge to us on Patreon. And there are other rewards, tier rewards, basically, that you're able to support us through as well. And if you are local to us or regional to us, we've had people come from Harrisburg and Hershey, like 2 hours. We've had people from Buffalo, New York come,
that's the big one.
which was like 5 hours away, to come to our Homestead gatherings. So we would love to see you there and meet you in person. So they're really sweet time. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Lots of requests to play us out with a song. Is that doable?
Sure.
Yeah, what's the...
We're gonna adjust the mic. Hang on.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much
Yeah.
for having us.
Oh.
Whoa.
I bet that was loud.
Oops.
Let's mute it.
Do you
Hang on.
want to do
Scary
very
Close
close?
is probably the only
Hold on. Let me mute.
You don't have your own guitar.
Yeah.
Mine's over there.
Let's just do scary close. Can I have a shaker though?
Yeah. You're probably closer to it.
Okay.
There's an egg.
Or
There's
that.
an egg and the gray one and the black one. She's asking for a shaker. Cause she's a real pro.
Oh, not that one.
We are very opinionated about our shakers.
A bunch of shakerists. What song we got here, folks?
This is called Scary Close. Basically, it talks a lot about vulnerability and how vulnerability in our culture sometimes is seen as a negative thing. Like,
I'm gonna get the camera.
oh yeah. Means, weak, helpless, susceptible to pain. But really, vulnerability is a bridging point in relationships with people. That when we share our hearts with one person, it allows them to meet us there and do the same.
Did you read the Don Miller books, Scary Close? Is that what
That's where it's from. Yep. Yep. That's
y'all think very much alike. If it wasn't.
Yep. Yeah. Scary Close by Donald Miller. Everyone, go read that book.
I went through
It's
a phase
great.
of reading all his books.
Yeah. Yes. Cool. I don't know how this.
Yeah, I don't know how loud that's gonna be.
It's okay though. Ready?
Pretty loud. Yeah.
Where did you come from? I've always been here. Seems like I've known you for a while, maybe so, but don't go thinking that you know me. I'm not saying that I do, but time has a way of showing layers. And now you're scary close. In the interior, I'm exposed. Just let me play my part, get my cue, strike the set, come and go, steal the show. Not in the script, but write it. Love is worth the risk. So true intimacy means getting to know me. Takes a long season of cultivating. You say it's an acquired taste and the harvest is worth the wait. Most things good for us are not easy. And now you're scary close. In the interior I'm exposed. Just let me play my part, get my cue, strike the set, come and go, steal the show. Not in the script, but write it. Love is worth the risk. Ooh. Where did you come from? I've Seems like I've known you for a while, and now we're scary close in the interiors and exposed. And I will give my heart, stay honest, plant a seed, sow and reap, fight the apathy, not of the world, but we're in it, and love is worth the risk. It's all worth the risk.
Guitar's out again. Whoops.
Yay!
That was like 3 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to go. All right, claps all around. Everyone is saying, are you going to mix this? Yes, probably. Maybe, who knows? Yes, I will.
Thank y'all again for your questions.
Yeah.
These are always really fun time.
You're getting lots of delayed applauses. Now, here they come. Okay. Now they're asking for just one more.
Oh, gosh.
We don't have a lot of songs where I play by myself.
Well, I can pick up a guitar.
That's true.
There's one in that case.
Is that the Gibson?
We could do,
Whatever you want.
let's do Zion? It's kind of a...
Nah, because I feel weird without the kick.
Oh, okay. Could do...
Tune first this time.
We could do Wood.
Alright, that's fine. You have to
All
tune
right.
the old dad-gad.
Is it okay if I tune your guitar to Dad?
Yeah, or you can grab that one as in Dad Dad.
Oh, perfect. And it's
Actually, it's probably in like something totally not. I might have tried to tune it down to like C sharp.
nice.
Yeah.
Survey says, yep, I was being silly on that one. Sorry. Also, you guys are all looking way too much at me. And I don't know that.
You're looking for a D right now.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. You went, yeah.
See, when the girls come through to like put their shoes over there, they just grab it and turn it one.
Yep.
So then I try to like tune it to whatever they turned it to. It doesn't work very well.
I need
Hey.
an...
This is fun. It's a fun time.
You want me to do it real quick? I'm always scared to like jack up somebody else's guitar. Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm scared to,
Yeah.
break yours.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably a little thicker.
Ben took this pick from Gruen Guitars today. I don't know if that was if they were available to you or
They were just sitting on the counter, a whole stack of them, next to like mint, and you should definitely be able to take the mint. So I figured I needed a souvenir.
Wait, you need this in Dad Gad?
Dadgad,
Yeah.
yeah. And a capo.
But
have
there's
two
like,
capos?
yeah, there's like 7 capos in my guitar case.
You need one, Ben?
I got one.
This doesn't bode well.
Put this guy back.
Close enough for mellow music.
Sweet. Thank you. Ooh, is this one broken?
No, you just gotta tighten it up. What
Oh.
capo is it, 2?
2, yeah.
This is actually the one that I accidentally brought back from Nashville. It's actually probably too tight. Yeah, this is taking way longer than it should have. It's okay. Still watching?
Survey says yes. 77 people are still here listening to us tune.
All right, cool. Unfortunately, neither of these songs are also recorded anywhere yet or available. So they are being, studio recorded and will be available at some point.
Put this mic over there and
I'm still out of tune.
Just gonna try to catch both her voice and the guitar.
Right, yeah. Make it work.
Air conditioner noise. Just make sure you play the key of the air conditioner.
Alright.
I can't do that.
But once these are recorded, we hope you catch wind of them. Alright. I've never said that in my entire life.
I've never heard anybody say that in my entire life.
Okay. You ready?
No, that's all weird. Okay.
This is called Wood Between the Worlds. Quietly grows without the need to prove it's the wood between the worlds. Am I wrong to question everything I ever thought was true? Is it a season of a lifetime or just a season? Autumn calls above the hills, summer waves at 10. I can come across as knowing, but there is so much I don't understand. And even after eating fruit, Jesus lets us choose. I've considered life without a say, but I keep coming back to you. I keep coming back to you. So the colors are all red and yellow, black and white, barefoot on the avenue. Am I right to see the wrong in division? There's so much more than points of view. Autumn calls above the hills, summer waves at 10. I can come across as knowing, but there is so much I don't understand. And even after eating fruit, Jesus lets us choose. I've considered life without a say, but I keep coming back to you. I keep coming back to tables, to handholds, to simple, to love. Can pieces be windows again? We're more than the ship we're in.
That was awesome. Man, actually got to mix you a little bit. It sounded real nice. All right, everybody. Enough making them play music for you.
Thanks for listening.
Thank y'all for being here.
Yes.
Don't call it.